Well, welcome to Rotary District 5020's quarterly online membership training seminar, Making Rotary More Attractive to Non-Members. This is the first in a quarterly series in online training for our district, and we are recording these sessions and they will be made available on the District 5020 website under District Areas of Service and the drop-down menu Membership. I just want to thank everyone who's logged on tonight, and for the audio quality of this recording, I'm going to ask you to stay muted when you can. My name is Corey Leparty, and I'm your District 5020 Membership Chair, and I'll be facilitating tonight's online training. One thing before we get started is the disclaimer that all images in this presentation are used without permission for the express purposes of this training session. Now, if you'd like to ask questions, you can type your questions in the chat pane on the lower right of the control panel. So I'll try to answer questions as we go if possible, and then again at the end of the session if there is time. We've got about an hour planned for this session, so we'll see how things go. Also remember that questions are public unless you select private chat in the chat control panel. Making Rotary more attractive to non-members. Tonight we're going to look at some membership facts, talk about how your club looks to the public, discuss how you meet new potential Rotarians, how to discuss Rotary with them, some pitfalls to avoid in the beginning, how to approach inviting them to meetings, asking them to join Rotary, and what to do if your club isn't a good fit for them. So how do we make Rotary more attractive? Let's first look at some facts about Rotary membership. Membership fact number 1. For over 10 years now, Rotary's membership has been at 1.2 million members. Every year, 100,000 members join Rotary and 100,000 members leave. Now, while many of you might be thinking that we need to fix the problem of members leaving, that is a topic for another online training. The reality is that we still need to keep up our efforts of bringing in new members to Rotary. Membership fact number 2. Only 20% of the District 5020 active members have ever sponsored a new member. Now, I was skeptical about this fact, so I actually did the math, and it is true. Of just over 4,500 members we have, a little over 900 have ever brought into a new member into Rotary, that is. And membership fact number 3, if we can inspire just 10% of the Rotarians in the district to bring in one new member this year, we'll be in good shape. Now, I know in the past we've heard things like membership is everyone's job, but the reality is that we don't need everyone focused on membership to succeed. We just need to capitalize on inspiring 10% of our club members to bring in a new member. So I'm aggressively borrowing Income Rotary International President Barry Rassin's theme for next Rotary year. Be the inspiration to your club members and find the 10% of Rotarian membership champions. So the first thing we need to look at is, how does your club look to the public? The first way your club will be evaluated by potential members is through your club's website. So let's look at how we can make sure your website is presenting the most attractive club it can. You want to make sure you're using the Rotary brand logo. If you haven't already, you can create your club's branded logo at Rotary Brand Center, and you can find that at my.rotary.org. You want to have an inviting cover photo. Now, this could be a photo of club members or a photo of an activity at a club, a fundraiser, service project. The key is to have a dynamic, engaging photo that shows off your club. Now, you want to make sure that your meeting location is listed on the front page of your website and is easy for people to find. Also, if you've experienced people having trouble finding your location with their GPS, include a link to a map listing or have a map image right on the front page. Have a good description of your upcoming program with a photo. Potential new members will often choose whether or not to check out your club based on the lunch program and speaker. Especially if you have an engaging or in-demand speaker coming to your club, you want to feature that on the homepage. And then feature news about your projects. One of the things that the Siegel and Gale survey told us is that one of the top reasons people join Rotary is for the opportunity to do community service. So featuring service projects lets people know that your club is a place that can make a difference in their community. So how does your club look to the public? Let's look at its social media, and especially your club's Facebook page. Just like with your website, you want to have an inviting cover photo. Now this could be the same photo as the one on your website, or you could use something a little different. The key is to have a dynamic, engaging photo that shows off your club. For your profile picture, use the Rotary Mark of Excellence. Now you probably have heard of this or know this as the Rotary Wheel, but it's currently referred to as the Rotary Mark of Excellence. This can also be found at the Rotary Brand Center and makes your club recognizable to potential new members. In the About section, make sure to not only list your location, but also tell the story of your club's programs and service projects. And make sure to post regularly. It's best to post once a day around meal times, and you want to have photos with your posts and also tell a short story in the post about the length of a small paragraph. The other thing you want to consider is how your meetings look to non-Rotarians. Now, there are plenty misconceptions about what a Rotary Club is and what Rotarians do at their meetings. So does your club play into that perception that Rotary is still only for men and that Rotarians sit around having lunch and insulting each other? Are your clubs fun and inspiring? Does your club represent the actual demographics of your community, or does it still look the same way it did when it was chartered many years ago? Evaluating your club's website, social media, and club meetings, and making any necessary changes will go a long way to making your club more attractive to potential members. But I'm sure that some of you out there are wondering, how do I even meet new people? Well, fundraisers and service projects are always a good place to start. Make sure your club isn't so focused on putting on the event and doing the service work that you don't connect with the potential members that are all around you. These people will already have an insight into what your club is about, and they may even ask about Rotary and your club. But what if you don't have anything going on right now? Another great way to attract new members is by using social media. You can create a Facebook page about a local project and use one of Rotary's People of Action campaign messages in the post. And you'll see in this one here, they're talking about what they've got going on. And together we inspire our community, and they even have a call to action in there at the end. And if you don't have a photo from your project, you can download a People of Action ad from the Rotary Brand Center. Another thing you can do is have a program around membership leads and use Rotary's prospective membership exercise. Now, all the info you need to put this on is included in the Find New Club Members document you can find on my.rotary.org. And it's under the Learning and Reference dropdown, Membership. And we're also going to make it available on the District 5020 website in the next couple of weeks. During the program, you ask members to fill out the Identifying Prospective Members worksheet. And then you make an action plan to determine who in the club will contact each prospect. Your best bet is to get the leads to the 10% of inspired members that we talked about earlier. So you've got some leads, and you're looking at new members, and you might be wondering, what do I say to potential members about Rotary? What if they ask me what Rotary is? Well, Rotary unites leaders to exchange ideas and take action to improve communities everywhere. That doesn't sound too bad, right? But what if they ask you, why should I join? You could always say, why join? We're looking for people like you, people who want to connect with other leaders for good, whose sense of responsibility inspires them to give back to their communities. With Rotary, you'll change your community and change the world. But for a lot of people, that might be coming on a little too strong. So my recommendation is that you don't ask people to join Rotary on the first meeting. Potential members need time to evaluate your club. You want to make sure that they are a viable Rotary candidate first. Now, this will vary for every club, but Rotary is an organization with high ethical standards and a reputation for providing service to our communities in the world. Remember the object of Rotary and the four-way test when considering a potential member for your club. But also keep in mind that it's very rare that you can look into a person's heart from a distance and determine if Rotary is right for them. Even so, Rotary may not be right for that individual, and inviting him to a club or to be a member right away puts you both in an unnecessarily uncomfortable spot. So in my opinion, it's better to do some dating before meeting the parents, so to speak. Now, meeting for coffee is always a good way to get to know someone in a more private setting. You find out about the potential member, their schedule, their concerns and interests, and you can also answer any questions they may have about the club without other members interjecting or throwing in their own 2 cents. Club projects, like were mentioned before, as well as club social gatherings, are good things to invite prospective members to. The focus is usually less on what can you do for our club, like if you just bring them to a meeting, and more about fun and what the club is doing in the community. And you can also see how a potential member is when they're not being on their best behavior and trying to impress the rest of your members. And when you're meeting with prospective members, instead of spouting off Rotary statistics or giving them the hard sell, I suggest you tell your Rotary story. Now, a Rotary story is a story about why you are in Rotary. It should include who was involved and when and where the story took place. And you should keep the story short and ask yourself when you're thinking about telling your story, does this help my story? Like, remember that details make the story feel alive. Think of a time when you felt genuinely moved to be a part of Rotary, and tell the story of this moment. If they seem moved by your story or interested in Rotary, that's the best time to bring them to a Rotary meeting. But be patient. It's just lunch. And invite them to attend a meeting just for fun, and always offer to buy their meal for them. And really fight that urge to ask them to be your precious new member. Now, a little strategy can go a long ways when planning to invite a new member to a meeting as your guest. Would anyone here choose this club to bring a guest to? I mean, the perception of your club from this type of meeting might not be a favorable one. Or would you rather join a club where the meetings look like this, with cheery faces and some tasty beverages? When planning to bring a prospective member to a club meeting, you want to choose a meeting with a dynamic speaker. You want a prospective member's first visit to be impactful, and a good speaker can be a key to a great club experience. You want to choose a meeting that shows off one of your club's projects and lets potential members know what your club is all about. You want to choose a meeting that will be well attended. There's meetings that some club members will go to, and then there's meetings you know everybody's going to go to and everybody's going to be there. And that allows a potential member to see all the connections they can make in your club and shows how fun and vibrant your club can be. And most importantly, choose to bring them to a meeting that you're looking forward to. Your attitude when you're showing off your club to a potential member will have the biggest effect on how you feel about your club. So Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And if you've made a potential new member feel excited, inspired, welcomed, and cared about, they will probably already asked you how to join your Rotary Club. And if they haven't, then asking them to join is really simple. You just say, "Would you like to join my Rotary Club?" But what if your club isn't a perfect match for their schedule or interests? Well, if you know someone who's qualified to be a great Rotarian but unable to join your club, you can refer him or her to another club in your area. If you're unsure what club would be the best fit, you can contact your Rotary District Membership Chair for assistance. And you can also refer a potential member to www.rotary.org/membership referral, and Rotary will assist them. Now, the concepts in this training may seem new to you or different than the way you're used to doing things, but just like Rotary founder Paul Harris once said, we need to remember that this is a changing world. We must be prepared to change with it. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's brief training and that you got something out of it. And now I want to make sure that you're aware of the upcoming membership trainings the district will be putting on in the future. In March, we have district membership summits facilitated by Zone 2526 Memberships Chair Steve Lingenbrink. The trainings are going to be in the U.S. March 24th and in Canada on March 31st. And we'll have more details and promo materials to follow on those. On April 25th, we will have our next training session in this quarterly online training series. And at District Conference in May, we'll be having a membership track with multiple training sessions and topics. So now, we haven't had any questions so far, but I would say if you have any, feel free to unmute yourself, and I'd love to answer them.
Corey, this is Bob. I think you did an excellent job and have left me with a number of things to pass on to my membership committee. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Happy to do it, Bob.
Corey, this is Greg. When do you decide to contact your local news stations to promote an event? How big does the event need to be?
Well, it's really not the size of the event so much as whether the event is new, unusual, and is making a difference in your community. So the typical type event they won't cover is when you're handing over a check to somebody. But even so much as putting in a park bench is the type of thing that your news may cover if it's making a difference.
My experience on that, Greg, is that the best time to contact them is in advance of the whatever you're doing. And if you provide pictures in advance or shortly thereafter, it gives them something to write about. The other thing that I've found works really effectively is almost, I won't say writing the article for them because that would be insulting for the community, but I provide them enough information in the to make it kind of easy for them to write an article about the event. And some of it, like our local paper did just an awesome write-up on the exchange students working at the last year's conference because one, they're young, it's a story, it was feel good, and so I think those things are what makes a good article for the newspapers or other organizations too.
Thank you.
Hey, Corey, it's Big here. I understand that you're looking for some members of the district membership committee. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We're still looking to fill out some areas for the district committee.
So would people just contact you if they were interested?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach me at PARDIMAN@yahoo.com.
And do they need a lot of experience or just a passion for learning more about membership?
Actually, a passion is way more important than experience.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I understand you don't have very many people.
I believe our committee is up to 8, including myself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll try and.
I was wondering who are all the people in attendance tonight? I see there's about 11 here.
Sorry, it's Maureen here. I just wanted.
Yes, Maureen?
I was just going to say that I think that there's this great opportunity to talk about growth in membership with this new club that signed their charter in town last night at the Comox Valley. And that was a contentious issue in our community because everybody said, well, we don't want this new club, it's going to hurt our clubs. But what they've done is they have 55 new people, most of them under the age of 40, that have signed up for this club. And so it's not stealing anybody from any other clubs, but I was thinking that they might be a little bit of an inspiration as far as helping other areas grow their membership.
Yeah, I really think they will be an inspiration. I'm hoping to get some information from their new membership chair on just how they pulled that off and be able to share that in the district here in the coming months. Well, for the recording, I want to thank you so much for attending this training. And again, I just want to remind you we'll be making a recording of this session available on the district website soon.